Hi everyone, I'm Jen T with ARINGO, and today we are going to answer one of the most popular questions we get as an admissions consulting firm. How do I get into Harvard? So today we're going to talk about Harvard Business School. We're going to talk about the essays, the GMAT, and a winning strategy. So I'm Jen T with ARINGO MBA Admissions, and today we are going to cover this gigantic topic. First, I'll let you know that I'm with ARINGO. We've been around as an admissions consulting firm since the past 20 years, and we have helped over 4,000 applicants get into top MBA programs across the globe, and we can help you. And we can do that either from as simple as a strategy to a full comprehensive process to help you with a full package service. Anything that you're looking for, we're here to help with, and you can check us out at aringo.com. All right, jumping in. First, we'll talk about HBS as a school itself. Then we'll talk about the admissions process, the deadlines, who can get their MBA at Harvard, or who it's for. Pause. So today we're going to talk about Harvard Business School as a school itself. We'll talk about the admissions process and deadlines and who HBS is for, and essay strategies that we've seen proven work for our clients, and we'll give you some case studies for you to see. First, obviously, Harvard is one of the most renowned business schools because it was one of the first, and you can see that it is consistently ranked in the top, typically in the top 3. It changes year to year, but for the most part, you know that Harvard is at the top of that list, and that caveat of HSW or M7 school list. It's located just outside of Boston and has only a fall intake with 2 admissions rounds in the fall and in January. And then beyond that, it's a 2-year MBA program. It does have a STEM certification if you are international and looking for the OPT extension. And it does have about 35% students that are from outside of the US. So there's definitely room for you to come and visit and be part of the program. Beyond that, the average GMAT score, the median GMAT score was around 740 on the old GMAT score, and now it is close to a 685 on the GMAT Focus. You can see here the GRE and the average years of work experience, 5 years, pretty fair split between male and female as far as MBA programs go. So their application process. So you need to submit the written application. It's an application form. You're going to put in a lot of details, so take some time. You're going to need to upload your transcripts themselves, your GMAT GRE score, an English proficiency exam. If you are international, there's some caveats as to who does or doesn't need to submit. So pay attention to that, read and see what Harvard prefers. And then beyond that, there's 3 main essays, 2 letters of recommendation, your resume, and an application fee. After you've submitted, if you get invited to interview, then they're going to ask you to submit a post-interview or a PIR reflection of what that interview was like. And then you'll find out in December if you were admitted or not. If you applied in round 1, round 2 is in January, and you find out closer to around March if you were admitted. All right, so is this the right place for me? Should I be applying to Harvard? Harvard is a moonshot for anyone. With 11% admissions, you know, it's never guaranteed for anybody. And if anybody says, yeah, you definitely can get into Harvard, then I would think about that a little bit. Nobody can guarantee with Harvard, but you can definitely make sure that it's the right fit for you and put forward the best possible application there is. So it's obviously an amazing brand, has that STEM certification, is one of the world's first and most established MBA programs. They have a robust club and organization system within the MBA ecosystem at Harvard. And then beyond that, they have essentially came up with or set the course for the case method itself, with students experiencing over 500 different cases before they graduate from the program. So, you know, their value is educating leaders who make a difference in the world. So leadership and impact are really guiding their decisions here. And you can see that throughout the application process itself. So they're looking for people who are business-minded, and so making sure to keep that grounded within your application. They want that leadership focus. So giving evidence of this throughout your work experience, your undergrad experience, in the community, whatever way that could show up for you, make sure that you're getting it into that application. And then they also want to see that you're growth oriented, because they indeed want to see that you're going to be able to make an impact on the future. It is a select program. And so with only 11% of applicants getting in, it's really important for you to be able to show and highlight these throughout. All right, so moving on to the essays. Essay number 1 is going to be business-minded. So they've asked you to reflect on how your choices have influenced your career path and aspirations. So this isn't a walk me through your CV moment. We usually talk to our clients and kind of coach them, like say like, hey, let's think about 3 different decisions that you've had to make in your life. Usually professionally at this point, for this essay, and think about it, and you'll want to dive into it even further and talk about what did you risk, what did you know or what didn't you know when you made this decision, and then who benefited. Ultimately, whenever you do something, there's going to be a ripple effect. So just beyond you, who else was impacted by what you did or the decision that you made? Then you want to talk about those motives and think about anything that continuously comes up throughout these decisions that you can count as kind of like a theme of, or I like to call it a thread that connects everything that you've done or decisions that you've made. Beyond that, you only have 300 words to make this count. So usually it's a combination of, pick one of those decisions you've had to make to explain. Then you want to talk about how it kind of relates to other choices that you've made, and then how that impacts your decision to go to Harvard and beyond. Next is the leadership essay. What experiences have shaped you? What experiences have shaped how you invest in others and how you lead? So, this isn't just a regular leadership story. So we usually talk to clients about, think about a couple of different situations where you've had to invest in somebody. And then think about what that person was like before you interacted and after, and what that investment did and how it changed them. Now, the difference between an essay that will get you that interview and an essay that won't is when you don't necessarily brag about the change you made for somebody else, but more of how this changed you, how the impact that you made you even better by opening your eyes to a different scenario, a different function, whatever it might be. This is kind of one of those growth stories, and it's what HBS is looking for in a candidate. The last essay that they're asking for is about curiosity. So please share an example of how you have demonstrated curiosity and how that has influenced your growth. 250 words. So again, we recommend that clients start with maybe listing 3 different moments when you went down the rabbit hole, right? That those are moments when you're like, man, I really know that there's a different way to do this, or I really believe in this idea. So think about those times. Think about what caused you to get to that edge. Maybe it was, sales were in a downturn, or maybe needing to pivot out or do something different, whatever it might have been that really caused this moment. And it could even be an aha moment of wow, I really see that clients need this, or that we're missing this moment or opportunity, and I know this is right. And so talk about that experience and, what you did to go beyond what was normal or required, or, what they were looking for. And then, how that changed or impacted you afterwards. So if you, and I love this is what our owner always talks about. He said, if there's no visible behavior change, then curiosity without change is a hobby. So very interesting way of thinking of it. You've got 250 words to make it count. Beyond that, let's talk about a couple of clients that have gotten into HBS and a little bit about their profile. Obviously, there is a wide range of people that do get admitted into HBS year over year, and that absolutely could be from any different walk of life. But here's like 3 examples that we have. We had a VC PE pivoter, was an ed tech founder, and decided, hey, like I want to go into this other side of things with a 710 GMAT, not the most amazing like brand of school going into it, but they were able to show that they took risks and they were business minded. And that's really what showed Harvard that they were ready for this next step. The next was a consultant. She was a healthcare leader, 4 years at McKinsey, worked kind of on that nonprofit side, or wanted to move into the nonprofit side. Pretty normal GRE, was a first gen engineer. And then within the leadership essay, really did a great job of talking about the mentorship that she had at rural clinics. And this is that connection of impact and the ripple effect that it had. Next is an Indian candidate who was in finance and wanted to move into tech entrepreneurship. And so he started off in PE already, had that 4 years of experience, pretty solid, which gained him a lot of credibility already coming into the program. Average GMAT score, went to one of the top IITs in India. And it was really the growth essay that we feel like really helped him with getting to that next step, talking about AI and ethics and the investment thesis. Like it was like a really talking about growth in the future. And I think that that's, one of the big things that set him apart. So, again, like you don't have to have an astronomical GMAT and GRE score. What you have to have is these stories that prove that you're the right fit. You're the person they should take a risk on because you're exhibiting these types of characteristics. If you have questions or you're ready to get started working on your HBS application, we are here. All my contact information is on the screen. Click the QR code to be able to schedule an appointment to have a quick chat and go over your profile and see if HBS or other schools are right for you.